Are you struggling with debt? It's a question that resonates with many as the burden of debt is a common struggle. Whether it's student loans, credit card debt, or a mortgage, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But remember, you're not alone, and with the right plan, you can conquer your debt. In this video, we'll explore practical steps to help you tackle your debt effectively. We'll talk about creating a detailed budget to understand where your money goes, prioritizing high-interest debt, and exploring different repayment methods like the snowball and avalanche methods. We'll also delve into strategies to increase your income, cut expenses, and negotiate lower interest rates. We'll discuss debt consolidation options and how to make the most of windfalls and bonuses. And most importantly, we'll discuss how to stay committed to your debt repayment plan. Knowing how to handle your debt can change your life. So shall we dive in? First things first, understanding your financial situation is crucial. It's like the blueprints of a building. Without it, you're constructing in the dark. So, how do we shed light on our financial landscape? We create a detailed budget. Think of a budget as a financial map. It helps you navigate income, expenses, and debt obligations, providing a clear picture of where your money goes. It's not just about tracking dollars and cents, it's about understanding your financial behavior. Let's break it down. Income is your financial fuel. It's the money you earn from different sources like your job, rental income, dividends, or any other stream. It's the positive side of your balance sheet, the cash inflow. Expenses, on the other hand, are the outflows, the money that leaves your pocket. This could be anything from your rent or mortgage, utility bills, groceries, transportation, to your morning latte or weekend movie. Debt obligations are the financial weights we carry, the loans and credit card balances that need to be paid off. They're part of your expenses, but they're special because they're tied to interest rates, which can compound over time, making your debt heavier. Now, why is a budget important? It's simple. A budget gives you control. It helps you identify areas where you can cut back and allocate more funds towards paying off your debt. It's like turning on a switch in a dark room. Suddenly you see where to walk without tripping over. Creating a budget isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process, a habit that needs to be cultivated. It needs to be reviewed and adjusted periodically as your income, expenses, and financial goals evolve. Remember, a budget is not about depriving yourself of things you enjoy, but about understanding and making informed decisions about where your money goes. It's about financial freedom, not restriction. So roll up your sleeves and get ready to dive into your numbers. Start by listing your income, expenses, and debt obligations. Categorize them, understand them, and then strategize on how to optimize them. A well-structured budget is your first weapon in the battle against debt. It's your financial shield, helping you withstand and conquer the storms of liabilities. It's time to take control, and the budget is your first step. Not all debts are created equal. Now that's a truth that's as solid as a gold bar. When it comes to managing your financial obligations, understanding the weight of different kinds of debt is crucial. And one of the heaviest weights out there? High-interest debt. High-interest debt is like a leaky faucet that keeps dripping dollars. The longer you let it run, the more it costs you. The reason? Interest rates. Interest is the cost of borrowing money, and it's calculated as a percentage of the outstanding debt. When this rate is high, your debt grows faster than a beanstalk in a fairy tale, and you end up paying back much more than you initially borrowed. So, how do we tackle this beast? The first step is to make it a priority. By focusing on paying off high-interest debt before other debts, you can stop the drip and dry up the pool of debt that's been accumulating. Here's a simple strategy. Start by listing all your debts and their interest rates. Then, order them from the highest interest rate to the lowest. This list is your roadmap to financial freedom. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to pay off the debts at the top of the list first, while keeping up with the minimum payments on your other debts. But let's be clear. This isn't about ignoring your other debts, it's about strategic payments. By focusing your extra dollars on high-interest debt, you're cutting down the most expensive debts first, which can save you a significant amount of money in the long run. Of course, this strategy requires discipline and commitment. It can be tempting to pay off smaller debts first for that quick win. But remember, it's not about how many debts you have, it's about how much they're costing you. And when it comes to high-interest debt, the cost can be steep, so roll up your sleeves, take a deep breath, and get ready to tackle it head on. Because when it comes to your financial health, every dollar counts. Remember, the higher the interest rate, the more it costs you. There's more than one way to tackle your debt. Indeed, two popular strategies are the snowball and avalanche methods. Let's dive in and explore these debt repayment techniques. The snowball method is just like it sounds. Picture rolling a small snowball down a hill. As the snowball rolls, it picks up more snow, growing larger and faster until it becomes unstoppable. That's the idea behind this method. You start by listing your debts from smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rate. You continue to make the minimum payments on all your debts, but you put any extra money you have towards the smallest debt. Once the smallest debt is paid off, you move on to the next smallest, and so on. The psychological boost of seeing a debt completely paid off can be a great motivator to keep you going. On the other hand, we have the avalanche method, which takes a slightly different approach. Picture an avalanche, starting from a high point and rapidly gaining momentum as it descends, taking everything in its path with it. In this method, you prioritize your debts by their interest rates, paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first. This approach can save you more money in the long run as you're tackling the most costly debts earlier. However, it may take longer to see individual debts disappear, which can be a drawback if you prefer the quicker wins of the snowball method. Both the snowball and avalanche methods have their merits. The snowball method can provide a sense of accomplishment and motivation, while the avalanche method can save you more money on interest charges over time. It's not about which method is better, but rather, which method is better for you. Your personal financial situation, your discipline, and your mindset will determine which of these strategies will be most effective. Choose the method that works best for you and stick with it. Remember, consistency is key in the journey to becoming debt-free. Boosting your income and trimming your expenses can supercharge your debt repayment. This strategy can be a dynamic duo in your journey to financial independence. Let's start with increasing your income. In today's digital world, there are endless opportunities to earn extra cash. You might consider a part-time job or even explore the gig economy. Do you have a knack for writing, graphic design, or coding? Then freelancing could be an excellent way to supplement your earnings. But don't overlook the potential in your own home. Selling items you no longer need can clear clutter and fill your wallet. That old guitar collecting dust in the corner or the vintage clothes in your attic could turn into a nice little sum that can be applied directly to your debt. Now let's switch gears to cutting expenses. It's time to whip out that detailed budget we discussed earlier. Review it thoroughly to identify areas where you can reduce spending. The idea is not about depriving yourself, but about making smarter choices. For instance, do you often find yourself dining out? Try cooking at home more often. Not only will this save you money, but it's also a healthier option. Entertainment costs can also be a sneaky budget drainer. Substitute costly outings with free or low-cost alternatives. You'll be surprised at how much you can save. The key here is to strike a balance. It's important to still enjoy life while you're paying off debt. So, instead of completely eliminating categories, consider reducing your spending in those areas. Remember, the money you save from these cuts can be directed towards paying off your debt. In essence, increasing your income and reducing your expenses can provide extra funds that can be utilized to speed up your debt repayment. It's like giving your debt repayment a turbo boost. So, take a look at your current financial situation and see where you can make adjustments. Every extra dollar you save or earn can be a powerful tool in your debt repayment arsenal. Every extra dollar can accelerate your journey to becoming debt-free. Sometimes it's not just about paying more but paying smarter. One way to pay smarter is by negotiating lower interest rates. You might be wondering, can I really do that? Yes, you can. Start by contacting your creditors. It's as simple as picking up the phone and making a call. Ask if there's any possibility of reducing your interest rates. Remember, the worst they can say is no, and if they say yes, you've just made it easier to pay off your debt faster. A lower rate means less interest accruing on your balance, which means more of your payment goes toward the principal amount you owe. But what if you have multiple high-interest debts? That's where debt consolidation comes into play. Debt consolidation is the process of combining your debts into one. This could mean transferring high-interest credit card balances to a lower-interest personal loan or a balance transfer credit card. The primary benefit? Simplicity. Instead of juggling multiple payments, you'll only have one to worry about. Plus, if the consolidated debt's interest rate is lower than what you were paying before, you'll reduce the overall cost of your debt. However, debt consolidation isn't without potential pitfalls. It's critical to read the fine print. For instance, balance transfer cards often come with introductory low interest rates that skyrocket after a certain period. If you don't pay off the balance before that happens, you could end up paying more in the long run. And while a personal loan might have a lower interest rate, it could come with origination fees that offset the benefits. So, whether it's negotiating lower interest rates or considering debt consolidation, always remember to do your homework. Understand the terms, weigh the pros and cons, and make the decision that's best for your financial situation. Remember, the goal is to reduce the cost of your debt. Every bit helps, and commitment is key. This is especially true when it comes to managing your debt. Now let's talk about windfalls and the role they play in your debt repayment journey. Windfalls are essentially unexpected financial gains. They could be anything from a tax refund, a bonus at work, or a generous gift from a loved one. While it may be tempting to treat yourself with this sudden influx of cash, allocating a portion of it to your debt can help accelerate your repayment plan. Think about it this way: each dollar you pay towards your debt is a dollar less you owe and a step closer to financial freedom. However, it's important to remember that not everyone will have access to windfalls, and that's okay. The key is to make the most of what you have and stay committed to your plan. And speaking of commitment, let's delve into its significance in debt repayment. Staying committed to your debt repayment journey may not always be easy, but it's crucial. It involves keeping a constant eye on your financial goals, tracking your progress, and maintaining the discipline to stick to your budget and repayment plan. Celebrate your small victories along the way. Have you paid off your smallest debt? That's a win. Did you manage to avoid unnecessary expenses for a month? Another win. These small victories can provide the motivation you need to keep going. Remember, commitment isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about getting back on track even when you stumble. It's about reminding yourself why you started this journey in the first place, and visualizing the peace of mind that comes with being debt-free. Lastly, don't forget to be kind to yourself. It's okay to have setbacks or to feel overwhelmed at times. What's important is not giving up. Reach out for help if you need it, be it from a financial advisor or a supportive friend. Your journey may be challenging, but the destination is worth it. So keep going. Your future debt-free self will thank you. Let's recap our journey towards debt-free living. We've traversed the landscape of financial prudence, and it all starts with a detailed budget. Knowing your income, expenses, and debt obligations is the compass that guides your financial journey. It helps you identify areas where you can cut back and allocate more funds towards debt repayment. Next, we learned about prioritizing high-interest debt. Like climbing a mountain, it's often best to tackle the steepest slopes first. High-interest debts, such as credit card debt, are these steep slopes. The higher the interest rate, the more you'll pay over time, so it's crucial to conquer these debts early on. Our journey then took us to the strategies of the snowball and avalanche methods. The snowball method, akin to rolling a small snowball into a large one, focuses on paying off your smallest debts first for a sense of accomplishment. On the other hand, the avalanche method, like an avalanche gaining momentum, prioritizes debts by interest rate, saving you more money on interest charges in the long run. We also explored ways to increase income and cut expenses. Think of it as finding extra provisions for your journey. This could be taking on a part-time job, freelancing, selling items you no longer need, or reducing discretionary spending. We then ventured into the territories of negotiating lower interest rates and debt consolidation. These strategies can simplify your debt repayment process and reduce interest costs, making your journey less daunting. Lastly, we covered the wise use of windfalls and the importance of staying committed. Unexpected windfalls or bonuses are like surprise provisions that can help expedite your journey. And remember, staying motivated is essential. Celebrate small victories and keep your financial goals in sight. You've taken the first step towards conquering your debt. Now, it's time to put these strategies into action.